Hello everybody, and today we are doing a Pokemon Sword and Shield discussion video. This is a little bit different than like the Galarian Ponyta overview that I did before, because today I'm just going to go over like things that I want for Sword and Shield, not things that are revealed or confirmed for Sword and Shield. And today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 like, Pokemon that I want buffed in Sword and Shield. So the first Pokemon is going to be Karnabine. Karnabine is alright. It's really slow. It has 46 base speed. Its attack stats okay. It has base 100 attack and base 90 special attack, which are not bad. They're usable. But its main issue is just that it's so slow and it's not bulky enough to take a hit. And while it does get Levitate, it doesn't get the move variety to really do much with that. Because sure, it can be immune to a ground move, but its only moves that it gets are Grass, Dark, Bug, and Poison. It does not get any moves besides those typings, aside from like Mud Slap in one generation and a bunch of obviously normal type moves. And those typings are good and all, but it could really use some like variety. My thoughts for Karnabine are giving it some extra speed. Maybe giving Karnabine a little bit more bulk, like maybe like a little bit higher HP stat, or maybe some higher defenses. Maybe like it's base 72 in each defense, maybe like bump it up to base 80 or something. And I definitely think it needs some more speed to benefit from its attacking stats. But other options for giving like Karnabine a semi-decent buff is maybe giving it the Elemental Fangs, like Fire Fang. Okay, I don't think Fire Fang, because usually like grass types don't get that. But maybe you can get like Thunder Fang, or maybe you could get Psychic Fangs. Psychic Fangs would be a dope one, because it gets Crunch, why wouldn't it get Psychic Fangs? And that's all I could think about for Karnabine. Karnabine, it really needs a buff. It's not that great of a Pokemon. If it is in Sword and Shield, it would really need a buff to be, relevant in any kind of meta. So I think those would be good changes for Karnabine, if I'm being honest. And the next Pokemon I want to talk about for my top 5 is going to be Delibird. Delibird is an unfortunate Pokemon. It's such a dope design. It's a Christmas penguin. What more do you want? It's a Christmas penguin. It's, this dope coloration. It has an amazing shiny. It's pink. It's so cool. And it gets actually really good move variety. It gets I think it gets Surf maybe or something. It gets no, not Surf. I can get maybe Water Pulse. It gets, flying moves, poison moves, bug moves, grass moves, psychic moves, ice moves, dark moves, normal moves, fighting moves. It gets so many different kinds of moves. Granted, some of those are not amazing, but some of those are really good. But I'm getting the typings off of Cerebee's Z-move page, so shout out to Cerebee. But, yeah, it gets all those types of moves, and its stats are, I think it's like the third worst or third lowest base stat total of any fully evolved Pokemon, or any, non-evolving Pokemon. Farfetch is up there too, but Farfetch is getting an evolution in Sword and Shield. Delibird could use one of those too. That'd be dope, but we'll see. Delibird's stats are just abysmal. Its only stat that is above 50. No, it's above 70 is speed. And unfortunately, it gets a lot more physical moves than it does special moves. Like a lot better physical moves, I'm pretty sure. So I would say to buff Delibird, give it every single stat a plus 20 or plus 30. Like speed could go plus 30, go 105. It's a really good speed tier. Special attack could go plus 30, be 95, and attack could go plus 30 as well, be 85, and the rest could go all plus 20. That way it doesn't die in one hit, because it's an ice flying type, which is a really bad typing. I think the only other one is Articuno, and it's not that great. But Delibird needs something. It's really good design, and it's just not a great Pokemon. The stats just aren't there. Its moves, like I said, are really good. It gets something like Power Up Punch. That could be a fun set. Like Assault Vest Power Up Punch would be fun. You could go Ice Punch. You get Icy Wind slow for support. You can get Seed Bomb on it. Seed Bomb's pretty good. Signal Beam's not great. Seed Bomb's not bad though for a physical set. It gets Gunk Shot. It gets Destiny Bond and Spikes. That's good for a support Pokemon that had more bulk behind it. It was a better typing. It's Fake Out. That's not bad. Other moves, it gets Quick Attack for priority if you care about that. I don't. Future Sight's okay. It gets Splash. You could run Z Splash, which I guess you can't in Sword and Shield. But if it wasn't good in Sun and Moon, you could run Z Splash. That'd be dope. It gets Aurora Veil. That could be really cool if it was under a Hail team, if it got better abilities as well, because its abilities are Insomnia, Hustle, and Vital Spirit. 2 of those are the same thing. So that's unlucky. Also, the only moves it learns by level up are Present and Drill Peck. I wouldn't mind this thing being more usable in-game. I think that'd be really cool, but it's just not. But, moving on to the third Pokemon on my top 5, I am talking about Shiinotic. Shiinotic is already confirmed for Sword and Shield, so it has a higher chance of getting a buff than other Pokemon. It's also a lower chance, technically, because it was in Generation 7. It just came out in Generation 7. So we'll have to see how that goes. But my reason for wanting to buff Shiinotic is that it has such an amazing, unique design. It's a cool typing in Grass Fairy. The only other one that shares, I think, is Tapu Bulu. And it has a really good special attack stat, but its speed is so low. Obviously, I can't just say buff the speed of every Pokemon because that's ridiculous. That's what I would want, though. I love fast Pokemon. And Shiinotic can obviously, like, you know, run house under a Trick Room team, theoretically. But my main issue with Shiinotic is that, like, it looks like it's meant to be a, like, support grass type, kind of like a Moongus. But Shiinotic does not get moves that it could benefit from. Like, it could get, like, potentially Aromatherapy, it could get Wish, it could get Heal Bell, it could get stuff like that. And it doesn't. It doesn't get any of those moves. It gets Leech Seed, which is cool. It could be like a cool support, but it doesn't really have the tools to do so. I would say give Shiinotic a little, like, maybe, like, it has base 60 HP right now. Maybe give it base 90 HP. I think that'd be really cool. But for the attack set, doesn't matter. Defenses are okay. Defenses are really good, but the HP isn't enough. So I would say give Shiinotic a little bit more HP. Maybe give it some more, like, supportish moves, like more cleric moves, like Aromatherapy and Wish and maybe Heal Bell. But I don't know. Like, I think Shiinotic would really, really benefit from a buff and be really, really cool to use. The next Pokemon I am going to talk about is going to be Araados. Araados already received a buff in Generation 7. It actually got 2 buffs. It got a special defense buff. Pardon my scrolling noise if you hear that. It got a special defense buff. It went from base 60 to base 70. Ooh, that's the only stat that went up, I'm pretty sure. And it got a new exclusive move called Toxic Thread. It's an amazing move. It's kind of like String Shot plus Toxic, but nerfed versions of both. It's a -1 speed, and it's a poison on the target. That's a dope move. It's really cool. It's really unique. Not any other Pokemon has it. It could make Araados exactly like a really good niche Pokemon within certain tiers, but it's, once again, this move that lowers the opponent's speed is being used by a base 40 speed Pokemon. The Pokemon that cannot benefit from it because it's too slow. Trust me, I've tried. Base 40 speed does not benefit from Sticky Webs or anything. They're way too slow. I've used Sticky Webs before with slow Pokemon, and the slow Pokemon just don't benefit. Because sure, you can slow down the opponent's, like, what's a fast Pokemon? The opponent's Blaziken, but you're not going to outspeed it with your Mudsdale, no matter what. So, I think Araados with base at least 80 to 90 speed would be really, really cool, maybe even 100. I think that'd make Araados super useful. It doesn't really need more bulk. I think it's a really good support Pokemon if it has a higher speed stat to utilize it. It could Toxic, it could set up, I think it's Toxic Spikes, it gets the, Sticky Webs, I think it gets maybe normal Spikes, I think it gets Toxic Thread, obviously, which would be really cool, but it doesn't have the stats or the speed or anything to utilize it, and I think that is a downside. It gets moves, it gets really good offensive moves, it gets Poison Jab, Cross Poison, it gets, Psychic, which is, I guess, alright. It gets Spider Web, which is a really unique move. It can trap the opponent, which is a really good utility move. Like, I've seen Pokemon use it before, but the issue with Spider Web is that Araados can't really take a hit. It doesn't really want to be trapped in there with any Pokemon, because it has a, like, already Poison Bug is not a great typing. It's just a fact. It's weak to Psychic, it's weak to Rock, it's weak to, is that it? It's weak to a lot of things. It's not, like, super offensive either. Poison until Generation 6 was only super effective on grass, and now it's only super effective on grass and fairy, so that's not great. But yeah, I would love to see Araados get a buff. I'd love to see Toxic Thread be a more usable move. Another option could be just spread Toxic Thread to other Pokemon, which I would be down for as well, but I just want to get use out of Araados, if I'm being honest, because it's a cool design. It's an amazing design. It's existed since Generation 2, and it's sucked ever since. But that's my thoughts on Araados. Next Pokemon we're going to talk about is the one I want the most to get buffed. Is Giratina. Giratina has an amazing design, once again, since Generation 2. It's an amazing design, top-tier design. Really good Pokemon, really good typing, too, because it's Psychic Normal, which Normal and Psychic kind of benefit each other a lot, because Normal is weak to Fighting, which Psychic resists, and Psychic is weak to Ghost, which Normal is immune to. So they help each other out a lot in terms of defensive typing. Obviously, it's neutral to Fighting, but that's okay. I think it's neutral to Fighting, right? Psychic resists? Yeah. Well, like, Giratina is an amazing Pokemon, but it gets a really good move variety, too. It gets, like, I think it's, like, where is this move? I'm not gonna, like, start speaking out words it doesn't get. Yeah, it gets Thunderbolt, it gets Psyshock, it gets Calm Mind, it gets Set Up, it gets Shadow Ball, it gets Crunch, it gets Psychic, it gets Earthquake. I've seen physical Giratina a little bit more than special, because it gets Earthquake, and with that, obviously, ground's really good offensive typing. It gets Energy Ball, it gets Thunder Wave, it gets, Dazzling Gleam. It gets a lot of typings and moves and stuff. And I think it could be a really good Pokemon if it got the stats to use them. But its stats right now aren't that great. Its attacks are all subpar. Speed's pretty, like, just too low to be, like, super great. And I just wish Giratina was a little bit better, like all around offensively. I wish Giratina got a higher attack stat. I wish its attack was 100 and its special attack was 110. I think Lucario has similar stats to that, and Lucario can be run physical or special, and I would love Giratina to be the same way. I would love maybe the attack to be a little bit higher than the special attack actually. That like physical offense is usually the way to go, but you can run like a Calm Mind set, or like I think it's Nasty Plot. You can get like a Nasty Plot set, and you could set up and sweep with a Giratina, which would be dope. But it's really not fast enough to benefit from those. It doesn't really get like, it gets like agility, I think. Yeah, it gets agility, but agility is cool and all, but that's an extra setup move you have to fill a move slot with, and it gets so much variety that would harm it a lot. And I think it would overall just benefit Giratina a lot to get a speed buff and a buff to both attack and special attack. They don't buff some Pokemon super crazily. Like they buffed obviously, like I said, Araados. They gave it 10 base special defense, which is garbage. But Giratina, like, it's a Pokemon similar kind of to Farfetch'd, where it's like, it's just been power crept so much by other Pokemon, and it could really benefit from like a major stat change. Because from Farfetch'd changed majorly from Generation 6 to 7. In Generation 6, I think it had a base 65 attack stat, and in Generation 7, it had base 90. And now it's evolving. So I would really like Giratina to get a buff of some sort. It's the one I want the most on this list. Such an amazing looking Pokemon. It's a great design. It's like a palindrome giraffe thing. It's dope. But, well, it might not even be in Sword and Shield. In fact, most of these, aside from Shainotic, are probably not in Sword and Shield, but that's my hopes. So, yeah, that's my top 5 for what I want for stat buffs in Generation 7. But, we'll see if they happen. They obviously probably won't, because this is just my hopes. But if they do, I predicted it, and I get all the credit. So, thank you everybody for watching. I'm going to do more discussion videos. I actually want to do a top 5 Galarian form one as well, which I think would be really fun. But, yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and I'm out. Yeet.